Watch your back, Crawford. Watch your back. Yeah. That's what it is. I don't care what anybody say. The cops send a message. This our city. You might got the key, but I got the handcuffs. That's what that was. Yeah.
Picture this. The streets of downtown Omaha are packed with fans, their voices rising in celebration as excitement fills the air. All eyes are on one man, Omaha's own hometown hero, Terence "Bud" Crawford. He had done what few ever dreamed possible, claiming the title of undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. A citywide parade celebrated his triumph as he was handed the key to Omaha, a living symbol of success and pride. In that moment, he stood at the top of his world. Yet, only hours later, that same champion found himself pulled over at gunpoint, hands raised, not hailed as a hero, but treated like a suspect.
Stepping out, seatbelt.
Step out.
I'm opening the door.
I'm
opening the door.
Right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Step out.
Can I move my arms?
Yeah, that's crazy.
The celebration in Omaha wasn't just another victory lap. It was a moment that marked history. This wasn't about a single win. It was about honoring an achievement that secured Terence Crawford's place among boxing's immortals. Only weeks earlier, he had entered the ring in Las Vegas to face the powerhouse Saul Canelo Alvarez and delivered a flawless performance. That night, Crawford didn't just claim another title. He made history, becoming the first male boxer in the modern four-belt era to hold undisputed championships across 3 different weight divisions. It was a feat that elevated him to a class of his own, firmly establishing his reputation as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters the sport has ever seen. In Omaha, he wasn't simply a champion, he was a legend in motion. The city's pride and admiration surrounded him in the days leading up to the Grand Parade. Crawford embodied the very heart of Omaha's fighting spirit, and his community rallied behind him at every step. He was even given the honor of leading the Nebraska Cornhuskers football team onto the field, a symbolic moment that reinforced his place as the state's most celebrated son.
Hours after Omaha celebrated hometown boxing champ Bud Crawford's accomplishments with a parade, he's pulled over by Omaha police, setting off a firestorm on social media.
Crawford was more than just a boxer. He was a symbol of pride for his hometown, a living example of what dedication and talent could achieve. The bond between him and Omaha ran deep, making the events that would unfold just hours later all the more jarring. A startling betrayal of the very community he had carried on his shoulders.
Today is Bud Crawford's birthday. He turned 38. What happened at the traffic stop early this morning in downtown Omaha is now the subject of an internal investigation at the police department.
We'll hear from Crawford's security guard who was in the vehicle in a moment, plus reaction from the mayor. First, a breakdown of what police say took place this morning. Around 1:30 this morning, Omaha police say they spotted a vehicle driving recklessly near 12th and Capitol. This is near the Steel House where Crawford's after party was being held, which was attended by many, including Mayor Ewing. A traffic stop was conducted on Cass Street, a couple blocks to the north of there. Officers say they ordered everyone out of the vehicle for their safety when they saw a gun on the driver's floorboard. And only after that did they say they identified Bud Crawford by looking at his driver's license.
According to the official police report, the incident occurred just before 1:30 a.m. Officers on patrol noticed a vehicle allegedly being driven recklessly and initiated a traffic stop. As they approached, one officer reportedly saw a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. What happened next unfolded in seconds. Concerned for their safety, the officers drew their weapons and ordered all 4 occupants, including Terence Crawford, out of the car. Social media quickly circulated footage of the tense encounter. The world's top pound-for-pound boxer, hands raised, treated like a suspect in the streets of his own hometown. Crawford was ultimately cited for reckless driving and released. On paper, it reads like a routine, if tense, traffic stop. But the situation took on a new layer of perspective when former world champion Timothy Bradley Jr. spoke out, offering a striking insight into what had happened.
Desert Storm Bradley, you already know the rest. And I'm here to talk about that Terence Crawford incident, man. Dang. I swear, man, like, when things are going too damn good, man, something always gotta ruin it, man. You know? It's like it's like back in the days when, you know, I used to sip on that syrup, bro, and we've all been there. And then somebody just bring down your high. That's how that was. I mean, Terence Crawford, he on the highest cloud, bro. In his city, let him know. Let him know. With this pullover, this was authorized. Think about that. Authorized to pull him over. That you ain't gonna never be bigger than us. That's what the cops sent a message.
Bradley, a respected analyst with a reputation for keen observations, wasn't convinced by the official story. To him, this wasn't simply about reckless driving or routine officer protocol. He saw it as a deliberate message from law enforcement directed at the city's most celebrated athlete. And when he described it, his words carried a stark, unsettling weight.
I don't care what anybody say. The cops sent a message. This our city. You might got the key, but I got the handcuffs. You ain't got no city unless you got the police. Don't ever forget that. You gotta have the law enforcement on your side, man. They gotta be looking out for you. For the good, not for the bad, for the good.
Bradley suggested that the traffic stop wasn't random at all. It had been carried out with a clear intent, to remind Crawford of his place and to assert who really holds authority in Omaha.
Terence Crawford is so revered now, right? Because he's the best boxer in the world. And they can't beat him inside the ring. But what they can do is show him his place outside the ring. That's what this was, okay? Yes, they knew who he was. That's the point. Y'all keep saying, man, they knew who he was. Yes, they knew who he was. That's the point.
This wasn't an accident or a simple mix-up. It was a calculated attempt to humiliate a hometown hero, to pull him down from the very pinnacle he had just reached.
You can't tell me you did not understand who this man was or know who this man was on the day that the city was shut down for this man, Terence Crawford. And it's his birthday, the same day that this man is being handed the keys to the city. And then to pull him out of the car and then handcuff him?
This cop did it. Come on, dude. Not knowing who he is, this cop's trying to become famous, bro. That's crazy.
Even the mayor had to publicly write a letter of apology. He's pulled over, which is perfectly normal. At no point did this man get belligerent. Why was this man pulled out of his car and handcuffed?
I think he knew. Like, he did that to get famous. Like, he did that to get attention.
I understand there was a gun in the car. He did notify him of that. But why was he pulled out of the car?
Certain cops have like a different style, bro. They get that ego stroke, feeling that power over somebody.
But why would law enforcement in his own city target him in such a way? Bradley argued the answer lies in one of the oldest and most corrosive human emotions: pure, unrestrained jealousy.
Terence Crawford, it don't matter what you do for your city, man. Bruh, I'm letting you know right now, man, with this incident right here, they waiting on you to do something bad. This dude right here, he was trying to jack you. He was trying to catch you slipping. That's all it was. Seeing you on TV, displayed all on TV, parade shut down and stuff. He gotta be, securing certain points and stuff like that. He mad to see you be as big as you are.
Bradley painted a vivid picture. The officers, he said, were seething as they watched Crawford's victory parade. witnessing the city come to a standstill to honor him. In their eyes, he had risen above them, eclipsing not only their authority, but the very institution they served. Bradley didn't mince words when he described it.
Ain't no way around it, jealousy and envy. Oh yeah, it runs deep through people. Yeah, it do. Yeah. And this young gun, or whoever the hell he is, and I hope I hope he be reprimanded, man. Put you in handcuffs in your city. Bruh, in your city in handcuffs. But this is the reality we live in, people. This is the reality we live in, man. You can be doing everything right, man. There's always somebody trying to bring you down.
It's a startling allegation. Those entrusted to protect and serve may have been motivated instead by a petty desire to undermine a hometown hero whose star was shining too brightly. According to Bradley, they were waiting for Crawford to make a mistake. And when he didn't, they engineered a situation to make it appear as though he had. The official police report claimed that officers saw a firearm on the driver's side floorboard, which led them to draw their weapons. But Qasim Chavez, Crawford's head of security who was in the car at the time, disputes this entirely. Chavez stated that Crawford had already informed the officers he didn't have his license or registration with him, having left everything at home, meaning he never reached for anything.
Be a man who can get to receive his second key to the city and have a firearm pulled on him by the Omaha Police Department all in the same day. Imagine that. Man, I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives. Oh man, it was terrible. It was terrible.
According to Chavez, the situation escalated the moment Crawford, legally allowed to carry a firearm, calmly mentioned, "I have a gun too." Rather than responding to a visible weapon, the officer on Crawford's side reportedly overreacted, becoming completely unhinged and ordering everyone out of the car at gunpoint, even though no gun was actually in sight on the floorboard.
And as soon as he said he had a firearm, the police officer that was on his side became unhinged. I literally had my hands on top of the ceiling and the inside of the vehicle. He never see a pistol, he never see a firearm anywhere. They didn't even see the firearm on me because of the way I was positioned in the vehicle. There was no reason to have drawn guns on us. That no matter how prepared you are, no matter how calm you are, if you run into a rogue police officer who wants to escalate, then he's going to escalate.
The encounter highlighted just how frightening the situation had become. Adding further doubt to the police's justification, Crawford's team challenged the very reason for the stop. While the officers cited reckless driving, they admitted they didn't have radar equipment to confirm any speeding. This raises serious questions about whether the traffic stop had any legitimate basis, suggesting the entire incident may have been orchestrated. It paints a troubling picture. Rather than enforcing traffic laws, the police may have been actively seeking an excuse to assert authority over a figure who had grown larger than life in their city, inventing justifications where none existed. To illustrate just how personal and twisted such encounters could be, Timothy Bradley shared a revealing story from his own past. Years ago, before he became a household name but while still a well-known local fighter, Bradley was out late one night after leaving a club. By his own admission, he was intoxicated and reckless, revving his sports car, spinning donuts in the street, and driving wildly. He pushed his car so hard that he blew the clutch and had to pull over. Soon enough, police lights appeared in his rearview mirror. Bradley knew he was caught red-handed and in serious trouble. But what happened next was surprising. One of the officers recognized him, knew his father, and understood his importance to the community. Instead of arresting him for multiple clear violations, the officer calmly asked, "Hey, you need a ride home?" In that moment, the law looked out for him, a stark contrast to what Crawford would face in Omaha.
I thought in that moment first, I said, you know what, I better tell the truth. I said, hey man, I saw some honeys. Let them know, I'm out here wilding out. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I was wilding a little bit out here, man. I blew my clutch. Oh, okay. All right. You need a ride home? Cops say that to me. How you gonna get home? I'm like, thinking to myself like, really? Damn. He know I'm drunk. He can smell it on my breath. I see him coming up close to me. I'm trying to bag up. I'm roasted. Hey, I was just driving the whip. I'm intoxicated. He could take me in right now. No, he didn't. He looked out for your boy. Kept my image intact. Yeah. Law enforcement, Palm Springs PD, looked out for your boy.
In Bradley's view, the contrast couldn't be clearer. When a local hero made a reckless mistake, authorities in his hometown chose to protect him, giving him a break instead of punishing him. Crawford, on the other hand, faced extreme force for far less, accused of reckless driving while legally carrying a firearm. He was treated like a dangerous criminal. The entire justification for the guns-drawn response rested on a single point: the officer claiming to have seen a firearm in Crawford's car. But as Bradley emphasized, that reasoning collapses under scrutiny. Nebraska is a constitutional carry state, meaning it is entirely legal to have a firearm in a vehicle. The official narrative, he argued, simply doesn't hold up.
This ain't right, man. And this shouldn't happen. And I hope something happened to that officer, man, that put you in handcuffs, bro, because if you know anything about the state of Nebraska, you have the right to carry. You do, even in your vehicle. Yeah. And so when they do these routine stops or whatever, tail light out or whatever, they pulling people out the car like that, putting them in handcuffs because they got a pistol on them, which is legal in the state. That's what they doing with everybody? I highly damn doubt that.
In fact, the police later confirmed that both Crawford and his security team were fully authorized to carry firearms. This raises a critical question that lays bare the true nature of the incident. Does Omaha police routinely order every citizen carrying a legal firearm out of their car at gunpoint? Almost certainly not. This was not standard procedure. It was a choice made specifically in Crawford's case, turning a lawful right into a justification for aggressive and humiliating treatment. The implication is clear. He was targeted not for his actions, but for who he is. With a figure as beloved as Terence Crawford at the center, the incident couldn't remain under wraps. Video footage quickly went viral, sparking public outrage and forcing city leaders to respond. Omaha's mayor, John Ewing, issued a statement expressing how deeply shaken he was upon learning how Crawford's celebratory day had ended. He revealed that he had spoken with the boxing champion personally, acknowledging the severity of the events and admitting that they had damaged the community's trust in law enforcement.
I was briefed this morning and my heart sank, to be quite honest. So I was heartbroken that something that was so good would then have an issue that would potentially have people concerned about police-community relations. Most important thing I think that Bud and I talked about is that we would have a thorough investigation and that we would be completely transparent in that investigation.
That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest content. And we'd love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.